that money down the road might, we know,
Required.
so.
So we'll look at that as time goes on, and even if we build it up and then not pay it till May, or, let's see how we are over the next month or two. Okay. The bonds. These are all the projects. Okay. The irrigation fund doesn't look as pretty as it used to be. We have a new pump house.
Yeah.
But, so that's, and Chuck, I'm still looking at this $30,000 due to the golf fund. I don't understand.
That was some shared expense.
Okay, very good. We're good with that, okay. Irrigation, I know that we probably don't have a lot of, we won't have any money coming in from taxes until next.
Start flowing
Yeah.
as we speak, so.
Right,
Yep.
so it should be coming in soon.
And then keep in mind, they pushed back the due dates by, I believe, 60 days.
Yeah,
So
so that if you got the discount normally in November, you got it in
you
December.
can
so-
wait and pay later. which-
Yeah, so you're doing good with that. Okay. Golf course, if we look at page 14, you guys are doing great with, in October with the golf, even with those few days that we were closed for the storm.
We were closed till the 5th. We lost a couple days, right?
Yeah, so we're doing well with that. Expenses, okay. John, you said you had a couple questions?
I'm sorry? Oh, just, I had, I noticed in mulch, I had, we were building for mulch, but for some reason, there's no money in mulch. We should always, at least have one mulch for that golf, always looking at,
Okay.
There definitely was mulch on the general fund.
Huh?
I remember seeing mulch on the general fund.
Yeah, and we always have one application on the golf course, so I don't know if it this happened last year, one time with a couple line items and things, and they got misconstrued, and they were in there and they weren't, so it's just simple.
Okay.
But it should be in there. But that's really it. I got a golf service one, I noticed my golf service is a little high, but I don't understand why it should be. I have,
You have the money there. And John, I signed the paperwork for the leases.
At least for next year.
Next year.
Toro's having a hard time getting equipment in. I've even heard some golf courses, they signed the lease, their equipment didn't come in on time, the price got raised, and they're trying to come back and raise the price on it. Now with Toro, with some other lease companies, yeah, it's getting pretty bad out there, this equipment for them. But, we signed, we're signing this for next year. We're getting to the spot, I got some fairway units that are going on 10 years now. And they were the first lineup of the low emissions in 2014. So we're gonna sign this lease next year, which is a decent sized lease, but it doesn't have any fairway units in it. We currently own our fairway units. But, yeah, maybe in the next 2 years or 3 years, we might be looking at having to get some new fairway units as well.
Okay.
Right now, we're
okay.
We're okay.
All right, good.
It's definitely coming up, equipment's getting older. The stuff we own is getting older.
I didn't see anything else, it was just the 1 month. And Chuck, will Jeff be getting us the December stuff or the November stuff by the end of December? Or will he?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so we should have November by the end of December, and then in January we'll have December.
You'll be caught up.
Remember, we're back at the end of the month again?
Yes, yes, okay. So can I have,
But were you getting something more on the building? That's, other than this, are there more details about expenses and building,
Yeah.
more, I guess, itemized?
We'll be elaborating on that.
Yes.
Okay, 'cause
Absolutely.
it just seems
Yeah.
very broad.
It
right?
is extremely broad.
Yes, so,
yes, we will be
okay.
getting down and dirty with it, so we know where
Okay,
things are.
okay.
Absolutely. Can I have a motion to accept the financials?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Go to the minutes of the October meeting. On page 1, line 32, it's HOA, not POA. On page 2, on line 67, the board and staff discussed fence replacement of the cart path and the 22-foot easement, magnolia trees, oak trees, and palm trees. Did you have magnolia trees that came down?
Southern magnolia, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, I just didn't know, I didn't remember seeing magnolia trees, so that's fine.
If I may, on page 2,
Yes.
there's 2 Mr. Simonsons in the motion box.
Oh,
I did both.
I'm sure you can do that.
He's a double duty, that's it?
Through his voice.
I don't know.
Who wants to own it?
Olive want it,
Yeah, we'll make Olive.
so we have 2 fills.
We have 2 Phils. We have Mr. Olive and then Mr. Simonson. Excuse me. Thank you. I had nothing on page 3.
Madam Chair, on page 4, line 112, at the end, there's an extra I think,
Oh, yeah.
for volunteers.
Chuck, I don't know if this needs to be changed, but I was not present at the last meeting.
You were not? Well, then,
That's the,
That's the November meeting.
That's
We're in
November
October.
meeting.
We're
We're in
October
October.
25th.
we're in October.
Oh, the October. So we don't have the number.
We didn't get to November yet. You were here.
I was here for
You made that motion. Okay.
Yeah, you are not showing up on the November. meeting.
November, so yes. Okay. All right, I have nothing else on page 5. I have a motion to accept the amended minutes from October.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? Okay. We'll go on to November. Phil, you were not, Olive, you were not here. Tony, you were sick.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a fun experience.
I'm sure. The flowers look nice up front. I'm glad they all got in.
You put out some co-comments, man?
Madam Chair, on page 2, maybe on line 43, it said staff has been trimming the widowmakers. Is that a real bush or tree? or-
Yes.
the hangers,
What's that?
The widow
the
makers.
hangers,
Low-hanging stuff.
broken branches.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was, I thought,
It's a-
Because if it falls on a guy,
I was
we have a
referring to the
widow.
context of like heart attacks as a
Okay,
widowmaker.
no.
That's true. Yeah, that too.
so yes.
Sorry about that. Thank you for the
That's
education.
okay.
So now next time you're out trimming your trees, you're gonna that widow.
Oh, yeah, I know where a few are. The pine trees in my front yard. I tell my
what
wife,
about
I'm
them?
cutting that off.
I'm cutting that widowmaker off, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Did they fix your roof, your chemical
Yes.
sloping roof? That's all
Yeah,
done?
we've been doing all the last touch-up today or this weekend.
Okay, so that's all done, thank you. The wall machine, we're good with that. I have nothing else on page 2, page 3. Does anyone have any changes? Changes there. Page 4. And check with the handicap spaces, they are going, when we do the parking lot, they're going to review with us where they're going to go? Okay, good.
Yep.
All righty. I have nothing else on page 4. On page 5. Okay, any other changes? Can I have a motion to accept?
Make motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Is there any plans the county repave our road?
We gave an easement to do it.
Yeah, we're supposed to.
Oh, yeah, well, when they're finished with the road out there. We knew that was not gonna be overnight. 26, whatever. We know it's gonna be there. Okay. Tony, do you have anything else?
No, other than if the board wishes, we have a sunshine law, public records, PowerPoint. We can make a presentation maybe at the February meeting,
Okay,
because it seems like January's pretty loaded up already,
that'll be good.
and nothing for
Okay, very good. Chuck, you can put that on the agenda for February.
You got it.
Chuck, do you have anything for us?
I have nothing additional.
Okay, so Phil Olive? Phil?
There's been a lot of discussions and emails and on social media about irrigation. And, I don't know, it's something that maybe this year we want to take a look again at automating it a little bit more. I don't know.
I know that they were not read in October, and then a double bill went out in November, but they were not charged for the additional usage because of the hurricane. John, remember we were automating
Yes,
that?
so I can, here's what I remember from that. That was about 4 years ago, 5 years
Yeah.
ago, and at that time, it was roughly about 150,000 to automate the system.
And we figured it just wasn't cost effective at the time, but I'm just throwing it out there. There's a lot of traffic going around and, traffic comes and goes and
But I think a lot of it
different
is
topics,
because,
but you do see a lot of the same themes, and whether they're warranted or not, just everything, being overbilled, not using, it's same thing as this lady, and I'm not saying she's incorrect, and, people are just saying, well, I've got mine turned off, and I'm getting a bill, what's going on? And it just explodes as it does on social media. I only probably get, you'll see 25 comments on social media, but I'll get 1 or 2 emails.
Yeah.
So those people, to me, are the legit people that are actually taking the time to reach out and say, I think I got a problem here, I think some of the others, maybe they've either figured out their problem or they're just wanting to complain. I don't know. But, I typically don't, but I did respond to one thing on social media, because I'm just saying, check your system.
Yeah.
Because if you have a leak, your meter's you might have your system turned off, but if you have a leak, your meter will run,
Yeah, those meters detect leaks.
Right.
Those meters can read the whole neighborhood out in the rain, so the battery can dry.
Right.
So there were major benefits to it. It does take the air out of the human element.
Right.
Crosby's legally blind. So there are times when there's like a haze in the glass of the meter, she might, and if it's, depends on what digit it is, and maybe it's against enough water, and you do
Right.
it, and then
We don't have to have the answer today. You're saying we're getting a lot of communication about it, and it might be something we want to look at again.
Is that 150 just to set it up a one-time fee?
Pretty much, yeah, so it's, because you gotta convert all the meters that you have in the ground now, and basically just taking the tops out, or in this case, you can take out the meters, put these new ones in, and moving forward, like if the top went bad, the actual digital part, you can just replace that, They were, there was a Cadillac of, it was nice, it was, but at the time, it just wasn't.
you didn't have any money.
Yeah, that's it, that was amazing, we didn't have any.
Did you use bond loans for it?
No, I don't think so.
Part of the landscaping potentially, budget?
Oh, I don't know, could we, Chuck?
I don't know why we couldn't.
What's that?
The landscaping budget?
Any
Bond?
money's left over from the bond to put in new meters for the irrigation? It's...
No, it wasn't identified as a project when we pulled the loan, so.
Would that be able to tax a leak, like remotely?
Yes, because on your, from what I can recall, this was 5 years ago, so you'd have a laptop with a computer program in it, and as you're going around, hitting meters or even remotely, it'll send, if there's a detects a leak, it'll say, you'll get an alert saying, hey, there's a meter, whatever that leak may be, water's running through that meter at a certain time of day, night, or, I forget exactly how it worked, but they were able to detect leaks. Like I said, the nice part was how fast you can read the meter. So now you can just drive around in a car, and like I said, rain, not missing a number because it's all digital, it's all being read. And then there's a much more, obviously there'd be a much quicker turnaround time between us, the building company, any issues. I mean, I can see maybe some issues being addressed before the bills even go out. Maybe we have an issue, hey, this person got high, go check it before we bill them.
In the water bill, do we have a fixed cost in there? Or is it just,
You have a fixed cost for a certain amount of water based on the size of your lot, your ERCs. And then once you, if you go over that amount, you pay another rate.
so we don't have a fixed cost for,
Correct. We pay a fixed cost up front in our assessment.
Yeah, that would be an
Yep.
assessment.
So on our tax bill, we do get a fixed cost for the irrigation fund, but our monthly bill is based on usage.
And the irrigation fixed cost now is $116.97.
What's 150, what's 200 divided by, how many homes? Would it be every door fund?
it's $130 a door.
Is that what you got, 230? And what'd you do, 200,000?
150,000.
That's, it's gonna be more, that was 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 200 plus thousand.
I'm throwing it out there. You know, we've been seeing it. I think a lot of it is dealing with the hurricane. I also said, because our system's reset. You know, once you go for a power outage, if you don't have the rechargeable 9-volt battery in there, it resets. And typically, they reset to run every day.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't have it turned off after a prolonged power outage, most likely it reset to run every day.
$225,000 would be $200 a home.
For 1 year. Right, is that something you told?
No, I'm just saying, if it costs us $225,000 to install this, and we charge the homes,
Because then if you did it on an assessment, you did it over a 5-year period, would be making it much smaller.
right, and then it would be, yeah.
Again, I just
I was just thinking.
throwing it out, something, you know, it's been 4 or 5 years since we've looked at it.
Right.
The technology may have changed. It may actually, you never know. It could be cheaper for the technology. The labor's gonna cost us more.
Right?
Yeah.
But
We have a lot less underbilling, overbilling issues from that standpoint.
John, in your, and maybe Crosby, when she has time, just go back and look at it again.
I think I still have all those files from Ferguson.
Okay, and contact Ferguson and see if they can update it.
They can, but that's all right.
Yeah, and just bring it back to the next meeting, and we can just take a quick look at it and see.
I mean, I know we already budgeted this year, but
Well, I mean, and again, based on Irma and all, maybe we don't do it till next year and budget it for next year.
Right.
You know, because I think a lot of these companies are wrapped up in everything else. And, you know, doing irrigation out in Sanibel is going to be a priority over our second thing, so.
but back on what you said, Chuck, so on the bond, so if I think we do have a cushion in there, so potentially we should have some leftover funds once these projects. So any leftover funds in that bond
Go to
pool
re-
of money would have to go down to pay down the bond,
Pays
correct?
down the
It can't be
principal.
used for anything else.
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to make that
Wasn't one of the
clear.
original projects that were
Yeah.
identified.
Yep, okay.
Do we have in any of the financials from the previous meetings, what the bond money is being used for and how it breaks down to the individual tax bill for each owner? I know a proposal was out there, but I don't know if the final ever got into one of the backs.
I think there is a little more that has it all broken down.
Yeah.
There was a final, there was a final list that we
And that would've
developed,
been in
and I
this-
can get that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you go onto the CDD website, you can get the prior, or quite honestly, I have my prior books, I can drop them off and you can flip through.
0.
Okay.
Well, because your opinion is it
I
starts
don't, I don't have anything else
repayment.
other than you're all
So if I
welcome to
go
the luncheon
A
on
year
the
of capitalized interest,
22nd.
I'm bunching up
Please join
over the
us.
following.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Holidays.
Yes, thank you. You all have a wonderful.
Happy New Year.
Can I have a motion?
This year's been,
I make the motion.
this year's been interesting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
This year's been interesting, I remember,
Oh, yeah.
Chuck and I were talking